We have Mr. William Kelly, who's the regional director of the Northeast region.
Woo! Yeah.
And for those who don't know, Mr. Kelly went through quite an ordeal a couple of months ago with back-to-back accidents. He had to go do that Rocky rehab thing. You know, it's fortunate to have him here today. And, you know, we want to give praise and honor God for that. Also, we want to keep Mr. Galloway in our prayers. Mr. Galloway is the co-owner of Feed and Crush. He's still in his coma. So, you know, everybody keep him in his prayers. And a very special young lady I want to recognize for revitalizing the Suncoast and bringing it back to life. For years, we've been without the Suncoast region until Miss Michelle Brown.
All right, there you go.
Let me put it like this. It teeter-tottered the year before, but she has literally grown the region from 2 teams to 8 solid teams. Ms. Brown.
And I'm saying what?
Tell us about your magic.
My who?
Your magic, how you make things happen.
I'm in school for sports management, and I have the benefit of instructors that are really, really, really good. And I also know what I went through last season, and it was horrible. Not at any fault of the league, but I just know customer service-wise what I expect. I know team-wise what I want to do. And I listened to a lot of y'all points, and your points are really, really, really good points. I'm kind of in a unique position because I like to help. And I will actually take people and walk them through. I also do football. I'm director of operations for a men's football league. So I know how to deal with good owners and then owners with bad behaviors that have good intentions. But just, you know, overall, I'm just me, because I don't do it for myself. I do it for the players. I have a daughter that's 18. She's getting ready to graduate, and she's like, I don't really know if I want to go to a big school. Then I had a little girl that she just wanted to focus on college. She loves basketball, but she doesn't want to be a college athlete. And she's actually the reason, little blonde hair girl, walk around with no shoes on, you know, last year that I started that program. But I just, you know, I talk to people that I think are going to make good owners. And I look at, like, because I have a couple of football owners that's coming over. And I see how they do with their football programs, and they're in key areas. So I try to go out and talk to schools. I try to go out and talk to, like, Chamber of Commerce and things like that. And, like, for example, the Titusville. I was there on a football meeting, and I saw their gym. I was like, ooh, I wish I lived here. This would be my gym. Athletic director was like, well, we're looking for things to do, and they really wanted to partner with the community because they had a team that won state like 30 years ago. I mean, not that long, but those athletes are now back, and they either have children that have graduated from college and they go back home. So they don't necessarily go to, you know, big cities where they can do WNBA and stuff like that, or even overseas. So I target communities like that, and I try to put teams in there because I know they will have gyms. They will give back to the community, and that's all this athletic director wanted, was to somebody to partner with them. Fort Myers, the same thing. They just wanted somebody to partner. So free gym space is like anything I can get free, I get it for free. And I try to tell teams, you know, how to do, you know, some marketing. I tried to walk through, and it's nice to finally meet you. Nice to finally meet you too as well. So I try to work very closely with my region, and try to plan regional things to where, yes, we're competitors, but at the end of the day, you know, if there's an inquiry come by, like somebody came that's within the Miami area, she doesn't have any openings, so I pass that, you know, try to pass that along to the next closest team. So at the end of the day, yes, we're competing for spots at regionals and nationals, but at the same time, in order to have a strong region, we have to be able to get along and at least communicate. And I tell my football owners, y'all may not necessarily like me, I really don't care. But I am going to work for you at the end of the day. And they know, you know, at the end of, you know, they know I'm going to work for them. And they, when they walk away, they may not like what I say, but they all will come back and tell you that at the end of the day, I resolved their problem and I made sure that they were in a better position than they were before. So that's how I do it. You guys have really, really good suggestions. So just keep doing what you're doing. As far as the shot clock situation, whether I go to nationals or not, I have shot clocks you can use if you need them. You know, so it's just I'm working on it. So I'm working on it for the teams within the region and elsewhere because even other places I go, I make connections. So league-wide, I'm trying to build some connections that'll help everybody. You know, when you go somewhere, you may need like a cheaper rental van or something like that. So I'm not just working for the region, I'm working for everybody overall. Because at the end of the day, I get college credit for doing this, and every experience I share, it makes those instructors more knowledgeable about what's actually going on rather than them just standing behind the desk, you know, coaching because or teaching. A couple of them didn't have any idea about this. Now our league is actually showing up on topics that the teams can write about or to research about. So it's just making little strides. I don't do a lot of marketing, and it's not because I don't want to, but I'm coming in an area to where it wasn't necessarily good exposure. So what I wanted to do with my team last year is get through the season. No cancellations, no forfeits, no bad behavior. You know, trying to get good refs back on board to doing it because every time I would ask somebody to do my game, nah, I had bad experiences. That was the pass. You know, so now I have every time I bump into a ref, hey, what's the league? You know, what's your website? I want to register. You know, so it's building a better one, but also like I tell them, there's higher expectations. As I clean up the behavior with my teams, because my coaches know I don't play. I love them to death. My players, same thing. Because last year I told the player because I got a comment because we were streaming live, and I got a comment, and it wasn't even my team, but it was my gym. Hey, you need to tell such and such and such. So we ended up benching that player because of some things that they did. So as we clean up the image and we demand the higher standards, so my lack of marketing, it wasn't because I couldn't. I just wanted the city to see that we can go through a flawless season. And now one of the teams, they have a waiting list to get on there. Then I have girls that come from Valdosta, Tallahassee, simply because they don't want to play for another program. You know, and that's how you want to build it, you know, so I'm transitioning from football, you know, back to basketball, but at the end of the day, it's all about how you present what's good for your program, you know, and it's good to get in the school system because if they see you're giving back, they won't charge you. Because like at the end of the day, free is better than nothing. So that's how I do it.
So are you doing training for other regional?
Whoever won it, I'm an open book. You know, people call me from other leagues, you know, asking me how-to questions or what to do. And because I'm just an information person, I answer the questions, you know, because how is it going to help the young ladies if it stays here? You know, so the more people are willing, you know, because I have a organization, SWAG, you know, it's for educating young ladies to keep them within the industry. Because the more we can educate people, and it starts here, you know, by us educating the owners, showing them a better way, working together, you know, collectively. You know, you guys brought out some great ideas. You brought out some great points. And it may be doable now versus it may not have been before. So I kind of have a dual hat, you know. I have questions about things y'all propose from a regional director standpoint, and I have questions also from an owner standpoint. But I'm an open book. You know, my phone number is out there. Y'all will see little, probably retarded cartoons from me or posts from me every now and then. So yeah, I mean, I'm open to it. And, you know, I'm just like, if we can build an industry, then it'll make it'll build stateside to keep some of these young ladies here and offer opportunities for them to play rather than them having to go. So we want the pressure to be on other leagues because we're setting the bar rather than other leagues putting the pressure on.
That's why it's a team.
And I have to say, since I met her, she's always come to reach out back, quick response. If there's not the response, has a solution. And he's just, to be honest, you know, I met her today. I was like, hey, listen, thank you so much. I'm being a pain. But I want to make sure everything is on place. So when the game day comes, nothing happens. There will be no surprises. Everything's good. So thank you.
Okay. Since I have you and Mr. McCray up there, I mean, I know that your region. As for implementing the traveling teams, Because that's something scary if they're gonna show up or not. How do you went about doing that? Just like, because you helped me out. Actually, you actually helped get Orlando. I don't think you're a traveling team, but one of them teams are traveling. People trying to help.
No, the thing about it is, a lot of teams are afraid to come in because it's overwhelming. And some of them opt to come into as a travel team, and I'm not going to get into what you're going to cover. They opt to come into it as a travel team, but just as from what I've encountered from owners, they either opt to come in as a travel team or they want to wait till next year because they are afraid of the uncertainty. But when I'm talking to owners and whenever, like originally Titusville was going to come in as a travel team, and I'm like, why would you do that? And you have a gym. That should be the only reason that a team is afraid to come in is because of their uncertainty as a gym. But if they have access to a free gym, there's things that they can do before the season, when they start the inquiry process to start raising money to be a regular team. So it's just, regional directors do it different ways. I know what I wanted for the region. Right. Because I got tired of playing the Stars last year. Nothing against the Stars, great group of young ladies, but our region was let's keep it going so the young ladies don't lose, right. So it's not a, lose-lose type situation. Everything I try to do, I try to make it win-win. But as far as the travel team, the gym is the hardest part. That's your biggest, especially in the state of Florida. Gyms are like, it's hard to get. I had a person from another league that wanted to come in to the Fort Myers area. I'm not gonna call that league because he knew we had a gym. He knew, but I listened to him and I just let him talk. And the more he talked, he had a self-fulfilling agenda, not a league expansion type of agenda. So you just have to know what you're dealing with. But as far as the travel teams, the way to ensure that is, first of all, say, come on, we need to do a contract. Yeah. If they hesitate, don't do it. Or if they're like, well, what's that? And you explain it to them. And when you explain it, be more dramatic. Make it seem like, well, you'll get put out for this. Because a lot of the travel teams come in, they really want to be a part of the league. They don't just come in, but they come in as travel because they don't necessarily have that money to kick out at first, and they don't have that gym locked down. But then when you start, showing them and you tell them how to get there and partner with the local school or the rec center by just giving back, that's all Fort Myers want. They just want us to help them give back to the community. And then they can have that gym. So it's just things like that. And that's what a lot of times, because some of the teams that came in as regular teams started out wanting to come in as a travel team until I told them exactly what to do to go get their gym. They came back, they was like, ooh, I got the gym. How much are you paying? Nothing. We just have to sign a partnership agreement. So when you're asking about your gym, ask, do you guys have a partnership agreement? Because the partnership is in lieu of money. So my schedule is already done. Just maybe a couple of flaws, to come in. But outside of that, it's nothing that we can't work through. So when you go to them, have a nice letter, have your mission statement. Don't start out by saying, I want your gym. Start out about what you can do for them in their community. And that'll win them over. Go to your Chamber of Commerce. Join the Better Business Bureau. And some of them will give you a free membership and tell them, I'll put your stuff at our games. Oh, you're spreading the word about the city. And then also other attractions when teams come in. And tell them that you don't know if a team is going to stay overnight or not, but just tell them, I have teams coming in from like South Carolina. And then they're going to assume that South Carolina is staying overnight. That's not necessarily the case. They're just coming from Beaufort. They're going right back home. Mm-hmm. But that's an opportunity for them to get something out. And South Carolina may see something, oh, well, I want to do that attraction. They may decide to stay. So it's just all in how you're not lying to them. You do have teams come from out of town. You're not guaranteeing them that they're going to stay in Jacksonville. However, most likely they're going to stop and get something to eat. Unless you feed them. I'm not feeding y'all this year, just to let you know that.
I'm feeding you.
No, y'all eat too much. I'm saying, I don't eat too much. But it's not necessarily what you say is what you don't say. Never, ever, ever lie to them or guarantee anything. You know, just be upfront. I bring teams in from out of town, and you know, we got a couple of nice hotels on the beach that wanna, you know, come in and give discounted rooms for next to nothing.
Mhm.
You know, and I'm like, okay, so I didn't tell them that South Carolina was staying overnight. I just said we bring in teams from out of town, and that's how it works.
Right.
So never ever lie to them. No, be transparent. You know.
Right.
So if they say, are they guaranteed? I can't guarantee what they're gonna do. You know, but most likely we have some nice attractions in Florida. I'm pretty sure if you put together a nice package that I can present to the team, they will want to stay. That's all you can do. Because it also puts ownership back on them to not only sell you, but they need to sell themselves as well.
Mhm.
And then they think you know what you're doing.
Right. We got nice sites too.
I'm gonna throw it.
I don't like talking to people like that. So y'all got it. Y'all spill for the season. Y'all can come in and everything. I always respond to texts and stuff like that. But is there any questions that y'all have on anything specific? No, y'all good.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You get my invoice.
Speaking of invoice,
She need your.
I'm sorry, I misquoted something a while ago, it was brought to my attention a while ago, when it comes to the national, assistance, is.
You gotta change that, man.